Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
It's a grim milestone Paul Whelan hoped he would never see. Today marks 5 years in a Russian prison for the ex-United States Marine. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I'm Karen Drew, in for Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Damon Fernandez, in for Devin. It's been a years-long journey, dotted with disappointment and public pleas for help.
Now, as our Sean Lay shows us, Paul Whelan is ramping up his demands on the U.S. government. Sean, tell us more.
We've been tracking every step of Paul Whelan's journey here, locked up in a Russian prison. And today, 5 years, as you say, he spoke out reading a statement. And the bottom line here, he is calling on the Biden administration to do more, lots more, to get him home.
5 years have passed since I was abducted from a Moscow hotel by the Russian secret police.
December 28th, 2018. Paul Whelan of Novi was arrested in Moscow. Whelan says he was there for a friend's wedding. Russian authorities claim Whelan was part of the intelligence community. On his visit, allegedly paid for intelligence information. There was no trial, no evidence presented. He was detained for 2 years, and then in 2020, the Russians handed down a massive 16-year prison sentence. And now, 5 years of Paul Whelan's life is gone. And it looks like this every day, held in a remote prison where he works in the laundry and clothing area. Whelan telling CNN today he is urging President Biden to do everything he can to secure his release, as if his own son had been taken hostage.
Even now, the Russian government refuses to provide any evidence of a crime or my guilt. Our concepts of rights and freedoms are alien in Russia, where foreigners are often used as pawns in diplomatic conflicts. I'm more than past ready to return home, and I'm counting on the U.S. government to come for me, and soon.
Just a few weeks ago, Russian President Vladimir Putin was asked about Whelan, and the Russian president said he would like to make a deal with the U.S. All right, back here live. So Paul Whelan's twin brother here in the U.S., David, he tells me that he does believe the U.S. has made offers to the Russian government to get Paul home, but they have rejected nothing close to what they're asking for. They just want to know what it's going to take to get Paul Whelan home. We'll continue following. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
Well, right now we're learning more about a former Southfield public school teacher facing 4 counts of criminal sexual conduct. It's a story we first broke last night. Now, the investigation into Lamar Willis started in March when a parent went to administration with the allegations. Willis was suspended and an investigation got underway. Well, we now know police interviewed 15 children. Reports accuse Willis of a list of inappropriate behaviors, including coercing students at MacArthur K-8 Academy to perform sexual acts on one another and showing children pornography. We spoke to a child psychologist about how parents can open a dialogue with their kids about the risk of someone taking advantage of them.
If they ask about it, first ask, what do you know? What would you like to know? Sometimes it's not exactly what you think. Different age levels are, more understanding of this at a different place. But it's always important to say, we want you to feel safe at home and we want you to feel safe at school. And if something doesn't feel quite right, you can always talk about it.
And that's not it. Willis was also charged with 3 counts of accosting children. He resigned from his job at Southfield Schools back in June, and he's currently on administrative leave from his position at Detroit Public Schools.
A project shedding light on civil rights leader Malcolm X's Inkster roots is making some headway tonight. They are restoring the home he lived in with his brother and sister-in-law. Megan Wood shows us what they've accomplished so far and how they are getting the community involved.
We're inside the home where you can see there's so much progress being made in this restoration project. And now they not only want the community to see that, but be a part of it.
This is a time for Inkster to, hold his head high and say, we had one of America's greatest.
Malcolm X lived in this Inkster home from 1952 to 1953 with his brother and sister-in-law. And while it wasn't a long time, it's where he changed his name from Malcolm Little and became the leader we know of today. But a lot of times, Inkster is left out of his story.
It was more of hearing our parents talk about seeing Malcolm in the neighborhood.
Now they have the confirmation, and after about 10 years of going back and forth with the city trying to save the house from demolition and several years of trying to get grant money under the name Project We Hope, Dream and Believe, they were awarded $430,000 in grants and have transformed this property from this to this.
The new siding, we even have a driveway new porch, sidewalk, even electricity in here now.
The goal is by June 2024, the home will be a museum that will highlight Malcolm X's life and what Inkster was like in the 1950s. It's also symbolic to what they hope its impact will be in the community.
He became Malcolm X in the city of Inkster. He became reformed in the city of Inkster. So hopefully we can keep the youth focused on making sure they can have a better future in this city.
They're also using Inkster companies to do some of the work in the home, and they're inviting the community Saturday from 9 to 4 to see the progress themselves and to write their names on the frames inside the home to be a part of history. Reporting live, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
Very cool they're doing this. All right. Appreciate the update. Thanks, Megan. Okay. Get ready. Expect to pay a little more to get into state parks next year. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources says the cost of a recreation passport will be going up next year. Starting January 1st, a new pass will cost $14 instead of $13. In reality, not that much more. The recreation passport provides year-round vehicle access to 103 Michigan state parks and recreation areas, which are true gems in our state.
All right, so the excitement surrounding the Lions is building right now, and it's reason enough to bring in our Hobie Artigue just a little early to join us about this.
Yeah, Detroit's going to square off with the Dallas Cowboys, and I've been picking your brain in terms of how close this is going to be. It's going to be a good game.
Two teams jockeying for playoff position right now, so two teams with a lot to play for heading into this one on Saturday. Well, the Lions made history last weekend, but the story of this regular season is still not over. Sure, they're in the playoffs, but now it's all about getting a better spot, which they can do over these final 2 weeks. The Lions snapped a 30-year division title drought on Saturday and are currently the number 3 seed in the playoff standings. They still have an outside chance of getting the number 1 seed in the conference, but number 2, that is still a wide open race. There are plenty of other teams fighting for position, including Philadelphia and also this weekend's opponent, Dallas. The Cowboys are a favorite heading into Saturday's game against the Lions, so Dan Campbell is making sure his team is focused as they try to build on that big win last week.
You should want more. You know, I think that's what real competitors, that's how you view things, man. It's on to the next thing, and you know, how can we make it even better than it is? You know, what is the next task? What's the next obstacle to overcome? And I think that's the mindset of our team. I think we've done a good job.
Well, like the Lions, the Cowboys have already locked up a playoff spot, but they are still in the fight for the NFC East. The Cowboys are 1 game behind the Eagles, needing this win on Saturday to stay alive for their division title. And Dallas versus Detroit, it's kind of like the Demand Bowl.
Oh, that's true.
Saturday.
I didn't think about it that way. Since you came from Dallas.
Already talking smack right now, you know. And
like,
I can tell you this: they're going to approach this game pretty hard just because it's Detroit, and they're trying to live up to that. Who's the real Big D?
That is true. Like absolutely, yeah. But we shall find out on Saturday. Saturday prime time, another game like that for the Lions this weekend.
You're headed out tomorrow.
Yep, to Pasadena. Another big game.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're busy. All right, thanks, Hobie. Let's talk a little bit about our weather. Folks are traveling this weekend as we come up. What's up, Ron?
Well, here in the D, we are going to see some more rain showers tomorrow, but we have it right now across Metro Detroit. We have the showers coming in from the east. We have it around Port Huron. You're seeing it in Pontiac and also seeing it in Flint and over toward Howell and Brighton. Some of those showers also right around Dearborn right now, still downtown Detroit getting in on the rain action. So as we go throughout the evening, we will start to see the chances of rain winding down, but some of that still remaining persistent just north of Metro Detroit, especially as you get toward I-69 and northward. Some of those rain showers still lingering throughout the overnight hours. This system is going to stay around the Great Lakes region and the Ohio Valley into tomorrow, giving some snow over toward Illinois and Iowa. Here in Metro Detroit, rain showers creating some slick road conditions for some areas. We have the mist and the fog out there as well. Looking at 696 in Southfield, temperatures in the lower 40s right now. How long will the rain showers stick around? And also your New Year's forecast that's coming up.
All right, thank you, Ron. Now, here is something you don't hear every day. When Michigan Community reports feeling a small earthquake on Wednesday morning, the Canadian Department of Natural Resources says the 2.5 magnitude quake hit about 9:47 a.m. Residents reported feeling small tremors in St. Clair County and Corunna, Ontario. Over the past 5 years, there have been 9 other small quakes recorded within 31 miles of yesterday's epicenter.
All right, check this out. Boeing is urging airlines to inspect all 737 MAX airplanes for possible loose or missing parts. Well, today the FAA said inspections involve looking for a possible loose bolt in the rudder control system. The announcement stems from incidents on 2 separate aircraft, one involving a missing nut, the other a loose nut. The 737 MAX was previously grounded for nearly 2 years after 2 fatal crashes that killed 346 people.